Self-respect is for losers.
What's the one thing that everyone does to protect themselves at all times? They act like they don't respect themselves. And they have to. That's how we grow up in school. That's how everyone grows up in school. Either you hear this negative stuff, you bear witness to this negative stuff and you internalize it. Therefore, you're either thinking that you are it or you must be it to help others feel horrible. You internalize it and then you become it. So if you grow up in school or your family or whatnot and you're hearing how much of a loser you are, or you're easy, or you're boring, or you're worthless, or negative stuff. You grow up hearing this stuff and you're either going to, yes, I am that and I'll never be above that. So every decision I make that I could possibly do something positive for myself and or others, you're not going to do it. You block yourself. It will happen. And you're like, I don't know why I do this. I don't know why. And no one wants to hearken back to where it all began, because that's the scariest part. Also, you might hear that stuff and then say, I have to treat everyone like that. That's how I'm going to treat everyone. And all the while, you're still blocking yourself from becoming a winner. Your best victories will always be making sure that everyone else have their worst defeat. I've met those people. For maybe 2 weeks in my life, I was that person. And that was a small part of me learning what indoctrination was before I even knew the word. You grow up and you have to say, whatever, I don't care. It is what it is. Man, I just do what I do. And you have to find these words, these phrases, these terms, these shields from all of the bombardment of spears and arrows and swords coming at you. That's what you have to do. And it sucks. And no one is trying to regulate this stuff. No one's trying to block it. In school, the teachers don't even give a damn. They hear students talking that way, but they don't stop it. They don't teach against it. What they do is they'll say, get to your seats, or be quiet, let's get class started. They don't teach against these things. So therefore, since they're not teaching against it, and the student who wants to do this or has to do this or feel they have to even when they don't, all it does is solidify to them that yes, this is the right thing to do because no one's stopping it. When my daughter wants to stay up late and we're like, hey, it's time to go to bed, she'll get quiet and she'll hope that nobody says anything. And then we get upset and we tell her, you need to get to bed. What's wrong with you? You don't have to be upset. And then she thinks it's wrong for someone to get upset with her when she does wrong. Maybe that's just her. And I'm sure a lot of you met a lot of kids like that. Grew up with kids like that. I know I did. I watched that a lot. When I asked somebody, why is it that you have to keep picking on me? Well, okay, here's what the conversation was. In the hallway, I'm like, why do you keep picking on me? What have I ever done to you? She says, you're fat. I thought to myself, your female friend is 3 or 4 times my size. How in the world does this work? How? You think you need that stuff in high school, but no, it doesn't. Because just earlier this year, someone that said I was a different type of person doesn't like me in general because I'm dark skinned. I'm not light skinned. Colorism is a thing, but man, these people, when you are forming your best years, that thing that you're going to harken back onto and say, those were the best times in my life. That's when those most formative years get annihilated. Because as a teenager, it felt right at that time. Everyone feels that. It's like, man, the sunny days are sunny. The rainy days are rainy. They're kind of gloomy, but yet you're going to do something awesome, whether it's playing your games, talking on the phone to somebody, or doing some weird mess around the house. Something. Or just, I can't stand this. get a little quick version of cabin fever, run outside in the rain and be like, man, I don't care, man, I'm out here. And then you get annoyed that you got all wet. Because you're not thinking, you're just trying to, you just got to go. You just got to go. You don't know why. And when you, and you, then you don't want to tell anyone that you did this. Why? Because they're going to call you a freak. They're going to say you're stupid. What kind of idiot does that? Yada, yada, yada. Anything negative to make you feel like you did the worst thing possible. And you have to grow up with that crap. And they don't change their tune. And then every once in a while, if you get a group of friends that become very comfortable with each other, that's when you start to learn your circle of friends. You learn them. Which one is the blabbermouth? Which one is the rat? Which one is the stooge? Which one is more of the leader type? Which one is the wise one that nobody wants to deal with because they're spitting wisdom? Who is that? You know, who's the one that got all the games, all the connections? Who's the one that knows everything about town or know everything about, you know, the popular people or just know how to stay out of trouble? You know, which one are these? You get that little group of friends. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4, 5. It happens. And you hit those moments where you share. You start to share. It's like, man, I remember when I was a kid and I was on the swings and I fell, busted my ass. Oh, man. White clothes on dark soil, man. It like I crapped myself. It was, oh, man. And everyone started laughing. And then you say, man, there was one time I was in the house and I just couldn't even, I don't know. I just had to get out, man. I just ran. It was raining outside. I just ran out in the rain. I was like, I'm out in the rain. I'm out here. I feel stupid. I'm out here wet. But, you know, I just had to get out the house. And they're like, oh, man, yeah, I did something like that. They start sharing. And those sharings is what causes the bonds. The problem is those friendships, 50-50, come to an end because the school and everyone getting them down with such negativity, them having to guard themselves with whatever, it is what it is. You know what? We do what we do. You know, we just move on. You can't get to me. You can't affect me with your negativity. And then to be seen as cool because no one can get to you. You know, you put that back into your circle and it poisons your friends. And then your friends and you slowly but surely drift apart. You can stay together for 5 and 10 years, but emotionally, you've drifted. And it only takes a little push to get away. I've done it. I've watched others do it. And others are doing it right now. I see it written online. I see it in other places. Protecting yourself is not easy. But the one thing you can do is respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, that's when your true power comes out. And I am not joking. When I was in school and this person decided, I was supposed to be a boyfriend with this white girl, and this she was extremely unpopular. I was unpopular. I did wrong in certain areas, but ultimately it paid off because her wrong was worse than mine. This at the time they were called red bone when they aren't light skinned but they aren't brown. They got that red hue to it. You know, I got a little Andy in my family. You know, that kind of thing. That's her complexion. So she's like, I broke my pencil. So I was like, excuse me, can I borrow a pencil? Why don't you ask that white girl? Of course, she called her out by name, not white girl. But that's basically what it symbolized by calling her name out the way she did. You know, thank Conquering Thought for that. Let me know, hey, how you say somebody's name can be the most disrespectful thing. Yes, because I experienced it then, but had nothing to go with it. So years later, decades later, here we go. Yeah, found something. So she says that. And I'm like, huh. And I'm supposed to be all black solidarity with these people, right? With these people that hate me. So much so that if I do date someone that's out my race, then I'm hated more. It just don't end. So, in retaliation, she needed some help. She needed some real serious help. And could I have helped her? 1,000,000,000 times over. I could have. And I told her nope. I didn't tell her why. She asked for help. She needed some utensils for doing her schoolwork. I said no. She looked so offended. Offended. She didn't look hurt. She didn't look scared. She looked like I went to her and just made it with her mom and said, hey, this is how life is. Enjoy it. I did. That's how she looked. She looked exceedingly offended. As if I should never say no to her. I did. Felt good. Felt damn good. But me being who the fuck I am, you know what I did? Went to my backpack. She needed like 4 or 5 sheets of paper. I gave her half a ream of paper and she needed a pencil. I gave her 3 number 2 pencils. And she looked back at me and she just looked like, what? And I just looked at her. And I just shook my head and I just went back to my desk. Oh, I was hated. No one even told me why they hated me so much other than I'm black. I'm fat. That's it. You know, for that area. So respect. When you get self-standards, self-respect, you gain power. It's not doing good for her that gave me the power. It's the ability to say no. The ability when a teacher comes to me and asks me to do something and I would say no. I mean, if you're going to call me out of class and make everyone hate me even more, worse than they do, and then ask me to do something for you, I get that right to say no. That justification, not that right, that justification. Because we're not looking for rights, it's justification. You hurt me, I hurt you. If you never wanted me to hurt you, then you never should have hurt me. That's, I think, a good way for everyone to function. And no, people aren't going to think about why you're hurting them. They're just going to be like, you didn't do what I wanted you to do, so I'm mad at you. Fuck them. That is my sagely advice. Fuck them. They don't have enough respect for you to treat you decent off back. Respect is not something that should be earned. I give respect immediately. There's no reason to be disrespectful. And I would not disrespect any of you. You want us to leave a comment? You want to have a chat, you know, and have it recorded or whatnot, or not recorded? I'm going to respect you. I'm going to talk with you, not at you. I'm going to talk with you, not to you. We're going to engage back and forth. I would think that my first interview, probably last interview, is a good example of that because, man, this is a good thing that I don't do, obviously don't do, but cannot do video recordings of myself because, man, I wear my emotions right there on my sleeve. It's right there. And it would have been a kaleidoscope of facial expressions and things like that. And it would have been like 7 seconds behind everything. It would have looked all grainy and whatnot. But I had respect for the one I was interviewing, even though the one I was interviewing had no respect for anyone or anything. Now, he didn't disrespect me directly at that time. But in the past, earlier in the spring, he had a great deal of disrespect. A great deal. And I was hoping during my interview I could ask him questions, make him think about things. And I don't think that's going to happen. But that doesn't mean I need to be guarded of myself from him. I need to be me no matter what. And always improve upon who and what I am. And who am I? I am Cedric Kennedy. What am I? I am the guy doing YouTube videos. I do them here. I do them on my other channels. And I'm a dad. I'm a lot of things. I am a whole lot of things. And that is something that people can't handle. You are who you are. And you should always try to be better than who you are. Always. Never stop improving. Never stop. Don't listen to everybody else. Don't. Listen to whoever is trying to help you, not manipulate you. The people that will not try to force you to do what they want you to do. They can guide, they can suggest, they can advise. But when they start you have to, you need to, it's best if I think you should do this. No. There's no vicariousness about this. They will look out for you, because if people like you and respect you, they look out for you. And if they can't like and respect you, you don't need to be around them, because there's no need for you to walk around absolutely trying to be disrespectful to someone just so you can hold your own. You don't need to hold your own. Never. You should never have to hold your own. You are your own, and the only one you need to impress is you. That's who you need to impress, not anybody else. You do what you do, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. If they offer criticisms, think about it, not internalize it. You have to protect yourself at all times. You don't have to, because you're better than that. I know you're better than that. You just have to see it yourself. That's the only thing I'll ever tell you to do. You have to see that you're better than what you think you are. And you need to open up those doors, walk right through, and do you. I know you can. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.